Welcome to the setup, hosted by the Financial Bear with Chris Bird and Lando, the BTS specialist.
Welcome to the Setup in Camera podcast. I am your host, Roger the Financial Bear. To my left,
No partner gun out for
to
me.
my left
No partner gun out for me.
is Lando the BTS specialist, and to my right, tell you, guns up, muskets up. As you see, it's a Disneyland thing. Me like this. I'm my type of show. This come like there's back to school thing. You know, like us up the field trip, the props, the specialists. We have the master of props, master of design. If you want a skyscraper bill, you call this man. You want something in your brain, you pop up in your brain from the Star Wars to the history-making thing, you call this man. His name of his company is called Image House. You have to Google it, you have to find it. His name is Clint. Remember the last, I Smith the last name though? All right, we want to make sure. He's a fashion designer. He was a model. They have so much things to talk about this man that, me know, from the dance hall to the sting to the
movies, to the shows.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's so much. First of all, I'm a friend. Then my friend, my family. So, this is onset. So, Lando, we are going straight into everything.
Right now.
No, the funniest part of this is the pew, pew, pew. The muskets. Look at this. This almost feels really like an artifact.
Look on it.
Look artifact. I'm like, first thing first, before we go no further, we're going to ask him to describe what's the inspiration and what was this made for?
These props in particular, the musket, the rifles, and some other things that you will see, was made for a production called Pirates and the Maroons. It was shot by an independent company about less than a year ago, produced and governed by Maxine Walters, and the art director was Miss Donna Noble. We were called in, my son and I were called in last minute to facilitate and to create this and a whole bunch of other stuff. 1495, the era was 1495, so to find replicas or to find anything of this caliber with the details is mission impossible. Follow me? So my son and I went to work. They gave us some pictures and said, okay, how best can you make it in what time frame? We ended up making about 4 muskets, and I think we did 5 rifles. We did a ton of swords, probably like 6 swords. In total, we did about 35 pieces in about 3 days.
3 days?
Yeah, man, it was intense. My son and I said, we'll go shop. And then what made these very hard to make was the intricacy and the little parts that make it convincing, because we're in Jamaica and we're limited to accessibility of a lot of stuff. So then we had to improvise, so I have a brain that I see stuff and I could use it to modify, or I'll see something and I could warp it to what I need it to be. So I look at objects, I look at shapes completely different.
Can I see that?
Yeah, so this part is from a door handle, and that's obvious. Yeah, that one is
Not obvious.
No. Why? Reason why I'm gonna go deep. This is from a door handle. That's kind of obvious, right? These are from some copper pipes that we molded into the shape. But now, the sword. This now is a little bit more tricky.
Yeah.
This snake, if you see the snake head, this is actually a screw head. And the reason why I use it, because a screw head has a grooves in it already, right?
Yeah.
So I just got the screw head, as you can see, and then just smooth down the end, bust the screw head in half, open it, weld those 2 things, fangs.
This
and now
is
it's a snake
like
head.
next level
right?
details.
Come on. And then the back of it is another door handle.
Oh, wow, I didn't even see that.
Yeah. And then this was broken recently. Somebody dropped it, but this pulls out and a dagger can go in it.
Oh, this was the
Yo,
era of
Yeah.
secrets,
yo, this
right?
is
Yeah,
Disneyland.
right.
This is Disneyland
Right.
for us.
And this part was a part that you use for your curtains. So this is just a top part.
Oh,
for
the curtain rod
Yeah, curtain
part?
rod. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I just figured, hey, why not make it where? Because back in the days they had stuff where the weapon was not as obvious with
Like
all
a
its intricate
concealed
part. Right,
weapons.
concealed parts. So it goes on and on. So that was an interesting project. It was the first that I was what should I say? I was praised for the level of my expertise and time frame. It was by Maxine Walters.
This feels real.
Yeah. So my brain goes on and on when it comes to making stuff. We started off, my career really started off back in 2019. My first big production was James Bond, the last James
Woo! Slow
Yeah.
that down.
Bond. Yeah,
The real James Bond.
Yeah, man, the
Real,
real
we're
James
not
Bond.
talking about the fake. Real.
real James Bond, right?
They say
Yeah.
Bond, James Bond.
Yeah,
Double
Bond.
Shake it,
James
that's
Bond, right. That brother right there. I was discovered by Sir Larry Watson. Sir Larry Watson is a retired teacher from KC. He's very artistic, very enthusiastic. He's amazing. He's an amazing guy. He has amazing energy and lots of love. Very supportive. And he met me on a project that I did at UTech. No, it was UE. 3-day project. And he said, Clint, you got talent. And I'm like, if you say so. And he said, Clint, my skin catch a fire when I see you because anything I can conceptualize, I know that you can make it.
True, that's true.
You know, and so Larry is very artistic. He'll just look at something, just draw it out to specs in minutes. He's gifted.
Wow.
You know, when he said that to me, it was very inspirational, you know. And then I got a call late night to come on a set at Little Theater. It's a Roy Henry was shooting the last part of African Redemption, a Malcolm X story. And they wanted they were low on funds and they wanted the last part of it. They wanted a jail from like 1950 with the toilet and the jail bars and all of that. And they're like, so Larry introduced me to Miss Natalie Thompson because she was spearheading that project also. And Sir Larry said he can make it. And she was, everybody was skeptical. Long story short, I went home the night and then they said call time was 6 o'clock. And I left Kingston around 7 o'clock. And I got back on set, set up everything I was finished by 5 o'clock. So when I called them, I said, listen, I'm on set. And they were like, I guess you didn't get to do anything, huh? I'm like, no, I'm finished. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm finished and everything is in place. And they're like, there's no way. I'm like, no, man, I'm there. And when they came, they were blown away. You know, they're like, there's no way you could have. But how my mind works, from you telling me something, I think in 3D. From you telling me, I'm there. Just instant. I could tell you measurements, I could tell you depth, I could tell you if it's going to, matter of fact, I'm a structural engineer, so I could tell you if it's going to work or not. Because a lot of times you would think to make something, but you don't think of the safety factor, or if it's going to be realistic, or if it's going to be functional. You know, so all of these things is a part of the makeup of an apparatus that's going to work properly. And I knocked it out. Miss Thompson was like, where have you been? I'm like, they're on a long time. And she says, you know, I can't promise you anything. But what I can tell you is that I will not forget what you did for me. And I have you on my list. And the next call I got, they told me that we had a big project for like the next 3 months. It was me and Sir Larry. And we rolled out and we got to Portland and then we went in. They said it's called B-57. And then they said, but the name of the movie is James Bond. I was like, yo, wow.
True.
You know, I was excited because I have a brother that's very spiritual. My eldest brother said, Clint, you're very creative. You have so much talent. You have so much passion in what you do. Pray that you start making good money with what you have.
Amen.
Yeah, because
Amen.
you're always you're doing and the passion that you have, ask God. And that was it. I prayed and I was like, Father, my child has something, Anna. And my first big project, I remember when I called Ricky, my brother, he's like, I told you, you know, we were all super excited. My family was excited. And for James Bond, I did a lot of stuff. And again, I work really fast. When I went to James Bond real fast, I remember I went there as basically a gopher. Go for this, go for that, try this, try. I was there to follow Sir Larry and help Sir Larry. I remember when the UK team came, they kept on coming into the workshop and passing me and Sir Larry and going to the big heads, the people that have been in the industry for like 15 years, 20 years. And you know, they would go to them and say, all right, listen, we need this and done. And then I started seeing scratch their head. Like, but that's not possible because they're only specialize in wood. And they walked back out as they walked out a couple of times and I was like, I could do that, you know. And they a couple of times they passed it. The third time I was like, look, I can make this. You know, and like one of them stopped. He said, you can make this. I said, yeah, I can make this. I got my welding plan. He said, you brought your welding plan? I'm like, yeah. And the next morning, I knocked it out like fast. And then they paused. They're like, you really made it? I'm like, yeah. And then they brought me a couple other things. I knocked it out really quick. And from there, they're like, okay, we see where you're going with this. Then about 4 other departments came to me. So if you're familiarized with a production house or production set, you have grip, you have spark, which is lighting, you have makeup, what is it, wardrobe, you have a whole bunch of different departments. So you'll have probably like over 12 departments or more that makes, you have SFX that will make up a complete production team.
That is a movie set.
Yeah, that's a movie set. All right, so then I started getting everybody coming to me. I had literally about 5 different departments coming to me, to the point where the department that I was in, I even got my own space. They took me out of the workshop and gave me my own little workshop, and I was able to hire people. So I came on as a rookie. And I remember the first thing somebody said to me when I got on set, I'll never forget it. I saw somebody aging the board, and I was like, hey, can I help you with that? And they're like, well, I'll stay in your lane. I was like, well, okay. I see the kind of environment I'm in. And within 2 weeks, I was running my own show. Within 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, the mood changed, and everybody started to understand where my headspace was at. James Bond was amazing. I was offered to even go away with him. You know, I remember one of the head chief was like, you know, I'd love to do some work with you. Never went because of family. My family was not where I wanted it to be. And then before I left that set, I got recommended to do a Hussein Bolt, which was ran by Miss Walters, Miss Maxine Walters. Miss Donna was not going to be there for that production, but she recommended me, and I aced it. You know, when I sent in my portfolio, Miss Walters like, you did all of this? I'm like, yeah, you know. Did Hussein Bolt, and then it never stopped. I've done the other big project I would say would have been I've done Sesame Street. I got a call, yeah, man.
I'm afraid. I'm just a little bit. Sesame Street, I might think that. So if I go a little slower, I tell them about Sesame Street. Cause Grouch have been done. We're not going further. Go ahead, continue.
Think of the Big Bird.
Big Bird. Me a Big Bird part, but that's it.
Grouch have been done. Sesame Street, I got a call from a production company that I think they're based where JBC used to be. You know, and they said that I was Sir Larry again. Sir Larry again, who drew for me and said, yo, if anybody could do this with the time frame that you want it to be, it's going to be Clint. And we went in and they told me with Sesame Street, the kids were involved. They wanted some stages that lit up in with an arch and some other little intricate things that last minute, and I was the one who they called for, and I assembled, it was me, my son, and I think one more person, and we knocked it out. And
were the puppets there?
Yeah. No, it was more, the puppets would have been in what is it, post or pre or after they did, then they would put the puppets in place. But the kids were there. The numbers were there because, you know, Sesame Street is all about learning.
Numbers. And brought to you by.
Right.
This is brought to you by.
One!
Right. So it was an amazing experience. Asha was the one that shot
Madonna
that.
Madonna.
Asha.
Sorry. Listen, Ash. Far Eye Films.
Yeah, man.
You make a call him. I need a pan show here.
Yeah, man. Asha, my friend, Asha has been my mentor. Asha's been my inspiration for a long time. When I was doing fashion before I got into production, Asha said to me one day, "Kid, you got talent." It's like the same thing that Sir Larry said. I did a Davil shoot. We went on location. They didn't tell me that they were going to do the producer did not tell me that they were going to do swimsuit. At that time, I had girls, but I just walked with fabric. And then he's like, "Listen, we're going to the beach, Cable Hot Beach, and we need swimsuits." And I'm like, "Okay." I don't believe in failing. I don't believe in not knowing what to do. I just believe in staying focused and making it happen. Think solution. You know, I got that from my brother. Think solution. So whatever scenario I'm in, I'm not thinking that I'm going to fail. I'm thinking of what I'm going to use to make this work. I never think fail. I think, what am I going to use to make this work? So if there's a stone that I'm going to carve out, get to carving.
Big mindset that's in
Big
there.
mindset, big mindset.
It's
when I get for talk,
yeah, man, go ahead.
You come like that, yo, come like.
Well, him run past the Usain Bolt thing so
the
fast.
sprint pass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but think you're not going to go in there.
Yo, give me
You know?
the.
Think
but
you're
this
not-
is the second one. This is
Show
not even
me.
the first
Oh,
one.
it's not the first
Nah,
one.
this, I've done a couple of
Hold on a second before you quit.
Yeah, I got it
Signed.
signed. Yeah, it's signed. It's official.
Don't
It's
play
official.
with it.
It's official.
Yo.
Yeah, he loved it. Hussein Bolt loved it.
This is
But
a.
now, man, have it up on top.
This is
about
a-
it.
I-
Yeah,
this
man,
is
big up to Hussein Bolt, you know?
What is this made of?
Ah,
Is
boy.
it copper?
No, it was a finishing. That's what they wanted. They wanted like a gold copper look. They called me the night they wanted some cheetahs. They wanted something to represent speed. And they said, "Oh, Clint, can you find some cheetahs?" I'm like, "Cheetahs? People don't have them big. You remember them ceramic cheetahs
Yeah.
from 19? Nobody has that anymore." So
All right,
Lance-
probably broken.
Yeah, broken. Yeah, right. So after that, I said, and then Miss Donna said, "What about a statue? Do you know anybody who could sculpt the statue of Hussein?" I'm like, "I can." I was like, she said, "But we need it by tomorrow." I'm like, "No, I could do that." And that was it. I just was
Man is
get
a sculpt.
Think solution.
Okay, okay,
Think
all right.
solution.
Sorry for cutting. Sorry.
Yeah, and now the material, as far as the material goes, I just got a piece of ply for the base, and then I just used wire to create the framework. And then I started using body fill to give it the texture. And then when I was done with the body fill, then I just painted it with like 3 different tones of the same color. And then the rest is history. And when they saw it, they were blown away when Hussein Bolt saw it. He's like, "Yo, I love this." And you know, he was really cool because I said, "Could you sign it for me?" And he's like, "Yeah, why not?" And he signed it for me. And funny enough, I even though I should be saying this on camera, but hey, why not? Funny enough, the production team, everybody wanted to buy this. You know, and this is before they even knew that it was signed. Oh, this is funny.
It looks awesome. It looks-
Respect. So everybody's bidding after my
very unique.
statue, and I'm like,
Very unique.
not for sale.
It's very unique. Very unique.
Yeah, you know. So again, big up Hussein Bolt, big up Miss Walters, big up Miss Donna, Kenesha Gibson. She's the one who made the link with Hussein, and then I guess the rest is history. I work around some amazing people. Amazing, you know.
Before we drift off too far, we are talking about Bob Marley music.
Yeah. So Bob.
So we're gonna talk about
One Love.
One Love.
Yeah, the Bob
So you need
Marley.
to spin a little rust, spin a little
Yeah. Bob
Yes,
Marley.
go.
I was called for Bob Marley when the scouts were gonna come. I never got the chance to go on scout with them. But funny enough, they called me for another show called Millennium in the same time frame. Now Millennium was a reality show that the contestants were competing for £1 million.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a whole bunch of money. So they got to do a bunch of crazy stuff, from feeding crocodiles to swimming with sharks.
Wait, what?
Yeah, man. Some
White
feeding.
people
Yeah,
something?
yeah. No, there's some black people in there too.
Black people are swimming there.
Yeah. So that was amazing. My son and I were called, and we.
So on the swim with shark too and feed.
No, we just made the props and watched them. No,
on the
we're
stage, yeah, in the
not.
stage,
You watch
yeah.
a real crocodile ever?
Yeah, no. Listen.
What if you Billy? Can
Can I
Billy?
tell you? Yeah, I got pictures of crocs. I got some crocs that I've made. But the funny thing is, I remember we were in Black River and they made us make some suit. I had to make some suitcases we had to make some cages that to go underwater, and they had to be aged like them underwater for years.
Rust and stuff
Rust
like that.
and the morass and the little shells would be on them. Yeah, so
Barnacles or whatever they're called.
I got all that. We had to do all of that, and then we had to make some that was solid. My son O'Neill, myself, we got to work. That was an amazing project also, because again, you saw to the extreme of what people do for money. I'm talking, they put him in a small area, and they put him on a platform, and then they had to try to fish out the suitcase with a hook that had a clue in it. But then the catch of it was the suitcase was anchored to the ground. So then they had to go in and throw meat to the crocs before they could retrieve the case. And the only reassurance they got was, when crocs eat, they won't eat anymore.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry. Oh, yep. But ironically enough, they had to have chains. They still had to chain the crocs. And the chains were, if I remember correctly, a croc could break, the thrust of a croc could break a chain that is about 300 pounds. The thickness, all right, so I got big hands, and the thickness of the loops were like the size of my finger, my thumb. So just imagine the loops of that chain, that thick. If it was this thin as my small finger, they were able to break it. So if a croc thrusts with a chain around his neck, and it is not of the right specs, it could break it like a Chico stick. So like this, it could just be like, and they still went into the cage just for that money. You know, I tell you, boy, that's something that money.
For the love of money.
For the love of money.
For the love of money.
Yeah, and then they called me on Bob Marley.
Project.
Yeah, it was an interesting project. And then they called me on Bob. Bob Marley was amazing. I mean, it's our history. It's everything. It's what's made Jamaica a platform. In so many ways.
Did I show we interviewed one of the cast members of it?
Nice.
So we get the next thing. So we
get a bit of insight.
So next thing we say Ziggy next.
Yeah.
We'll find Ziggy and
it was interesting. Bob Marley was very interesting in a lot of ways. Interesting in a lot of ways. I mean, ups and downs. We got to do a lot of stuff. Some of these drums, the drum, this one here, the Congo drum, that also was in Bob. That radio is in.
Who's it?
In what's that? When singing in that one shed. Camille Paget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Georgie.
Yeah. You'll see the radio and a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean.
Is this a real radio?
It was made and put together for the Bob.
This looks.
Yeah, man. It was put together for
This
Bob.
looks real.
Right. So.
Georgie would approve. Man, I'm telling you right. Georgie would approve.
Yeah. So. Bob Marley was interesting. Bob Marley had a lot of ups and downs. It was a learning platform for me. It taught me a lot about the industry. The industry is shady, you know. We won't get into that. But Bob Marley was a stepping stone.
Damn.
Big up to Miss Natalie, Kenesha, all the individuals that taught me and accommodated me and showed me what production is all about on the next level. I was even, it's funny again, on Bob Marley, I had 3 different departments running for me again. They even put me into a meeting. I did Bob Marley as a prop maker, and then SFX. Mm-hmm. Somebody gave me like, hey, Clint can make that for you, you know. And I was pulled in, and then I ended up making the bonfires. So when you see the movie, you see them on the beach, and then big ass bonfires. All that stuff is fake. My son and I made all of that. We did all the
when they sit on the
bonfire
and they do the chanting and stuff.
All that shit.
Wait, so this was one of the drums in that?
Yeah, man. All the drums that you see in Bob Marley was made by me and my son. All of them. We never made drums. Never make drum idea in our life. First time making drums. And how that happened is, funny enough, we tried finding people to make drums. I found one, and then because they were still not settled, they told the man yes, and then tell him no, and then tell him yes. So when we went back, they were settled. The guy was like, chucked him the bread, like, man, not drum.
Yeah, that's serious.
Yeah. So my son and I learned how to make drums. I figured out how to scrape the
goat
skin.
Tell about it.
Wait,
so this is animal skin?
Yeah, that's
because I was looking at it,
That's goat skin. It takes an average of probably like a day hours to scrape goat skin.
Why?
Because it's hair. The hair on the goat skin, the method of that everybody knows is either to burn it or to use something and
Like
scrape it.
Okay.
Scrape it.
Okay,
And it
brilliant.
still don't get it clean. So it takes an average of 1 day to string the drum, because you hear people say they string the drum. It's actually, it takes about 4 people to
Except for pull. Tell us.
all right. For example, this part of the drum is where they say string the drum. So this is the skin. Then there's a metal that you have to wrap the skin under, put it on. Then you have to put this over, and that alone takes a good 3 people. Then you have to put this on it, and then you have to get 4 people to pull it down simultaneously so that it stretches the skin so that you get the right acoustic sound out of the drum. It's an intricate procedure that one drum should take you about 4 to 5 days if you work on it non-stop. My son and I figured out how to make one drum in 1 hour. Hour and a half tops. Yeah, man. Figured it out. First, let me tell you. First, you see the goat skin, and this is, I love to teach. So I have nothing
This is
to
a
hide.
class. This is not.
I got nothing
This
to
is not
hide.
this is a podcast, but to turn into our
Yeah.
class.
Listen,
Class.
you see
Right.
goat skin, you want to get the hair off in like 5 minutes, get magic shave.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Like
man,
a
yeah,
hair
man.
remover.
Yeah, man, it take it off instant. There's nobody that can scrape it good enough, and it takes it off in minutes. In minutes. And then I figured out they use something and then they chip the board, and then they take them time and carve it down. I just made a spinner. I created a bearing, a shaft, slide it on, and then physics, the laws of physics, anything you start moving, it starts to spin once it's on the right bearings. And then I just got a sander. And once I started sanding, instantly it started spinning. Zzz, and then so something that again would take somebody to sit on, carve and shift and sand. It would take them at least another 2 days. It took me like half an hour. So I was now able to, call them little dogs. I was now able to create, me and my son were able to finish a drum in like hours.
Think solutions.
Yeah, think solutions.
Think
All right, yeah, man.
solutions.
What I don't do, I take.
That's the name of this episode. Think
Think
solutions.
solutions.
Yeah.
I'm taking that with me
That's-
because
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I think as well.
Yeah. You know, and even now the part that where they string the drums, you had like 4 people doing it. Real easy. We got pulleys, the mini pulleys.
Yeah,
Put the
yeah.
drum on a platform and then just connect all 4 pulleys and just go in minutes, and then just test it. Tap, tap, tap. Once you get the sound out of it, done. So we made over 30 drums. We made over 30 drums. So it was a very, very interesting project. We learned a lot. Met a lot of new friends. Yeah, I've never seen the movie.
I want to ask you something.
You have
though.
never
I've
watched
still not seen that.
Hold on there, Reggie.
premiere,
Hold
when
on
you
there,
listen to the
Reggie.
movie.
Yeah, because I did the premiere. I also did the
Hold on,
premiere
Reggie,
for
one
Back
second.
Bali.
So I realize that you do a lot of props and accessories and a lot of things, right? One thing I want to know, like, how you retrieve the props. Tell with that process, because I know, as you said with the boats that there's so many people like, was them blink, we might have to move that in it.
Yeah.
So how you retrieve props? So
Oh, sometimes I have a problem. Sometimes it's like when I first started, my first making big props on a local was for Grand Gala, 2019.
That is Independence,
Yeah,
Jamaica.
celebration. Right.
wait, is that what that is from?
No, this is actually from the National
Yeah,
Heritage
mine-
Trust. Yeah, you'll see that. Yeah, that's Jankunu. So I'm making some Jankunu characters. Everybody should be familiar with this guy. His Pitchy Patchy, right? And I was recruited to make it by Miss Bailey. Miss Bailey is from the Jamaican National Heritage. She has supported me and my wife over the years. We've done Seville Great House. Oh, Miss Bailey, Miss Bailey is from Jamaican National Heritage. She's the director. She supported me and my wife over the years. We've always done Civil Great House. Myself, my wife, O'Neill. We go there and do decor. That's the only place we do the decor.
Look at this. Look at this.
You know, the detail.
Look at the outfit.
The pose, that is just the outfit, the
Look at
pose.
the pose and look at the expression.
Cause the pose is an exaggerated
I'm-
pose or
yes.
match
I'm
the
like-
culture and the dance. You know.
I'm like, this Clint just make anything just come to life. Because
That's
you look
the
at
idea.
the details and him foot look like his shoes in my van.
Yeah. That's the
And I'm
idea.
like, it's like in film work, the details that we want to, we're afraid to ask for those details. So it's so important something like this is, the authentic thing to bring it across.
Yeah.
Something that, well, you know, something will just this alone in the background would just bring something to
Creates
life.
energy, right? It creates energy.
Energy.
And you said it, you know, the pose. Because you see,
Yeah.
before I started, I always do my research. I always make sure that I find out about what I'm about to indulge in, because that's very imperative for you to get that the right.
So you learn it.
Yeah,
and
man. Yeah, because you have to be a part of it. You have to get absorbed with it, or it's just gonna be something
Not
for
gonna
to
be
make money.
real.
I mean, that's not what I'm about. I don't make things just to make money. I like a client say, make sure, sir, when you're done. I'm like, you never have to tell me make sure, so when it's done, it looks good. I set a standard and a precedence for myself that when I make stuff to make sure that it passes my level of expertise, my level of finishing. You never have to worry yourself, boy, am I gonna bitch up something? I don't even know how to do that. You know? So the real stuff is that John Kuno, a lot of people don't even know about John Kuno. You just say about John Kuno, Christmas time, them frighten people, and you know, it's a very, very intricate important part of our culture. That'll be for the next episode. But quickie, John Kuno was started by the slaves.
Yep.
They did it as entertainment. And what a lot of people don't know, they were mocking their slave masters. So each John Kuno character actually represents one of the slave masters, whether it was the man on the horse, so you have horseman, whether it's the belly. So each of the John Kuno characters actually mimicked one of the slave masters, the police, right, that oppressed us, and then they did it for entertainment. The white people, they thought it was cool to watch until they found out what it was all about, that they were getting mocked, and then they tried to suppress it, and then they tried to tarnish and paint a bad picture of John Kuno. And it was a gleaner that bring it back up and say, listen, y'all need to know what John Kuno is all about. So it's deep. It is a very deep part, but moving right along.
Wait. Remember, I didn't finish the props part. You know?
No, but I'm just but if you follow Clint, I go too far.
Yeah.
No, look at it like local production wise. Now the discretionary part of this now is this looks too real, so it is fake. It's what?
It's
Say it
fake.
after me. Fake.
One more time, now listen to him. You know. This is not real.
It's not real.
EKAF.
So tell us about the prop to your right. There,
Yeah, this bad boy. This is it's a dead chicken.
Remember, you know. Fake.
It's fake. It's fake.
It's soft, as you see, it's pliable, and feathers. I made this. Well, I shouldn't say I. My son and I made this for this dead chicken here. It's very scary, actually. Yeah.
It is. I'm glad you said it, because it looks decent. I know it's fake. And it looks scary.
Yeah, when he brought us to us, I thought like, what to do with the
dead
chicken here,
Where
man?
you going with
What's
this?
happening?
Yeah. That chicken now was made for Black Cake. Black Cake is a HBO series that was produced by.
When you see TV cable in HBO, we see them HBO and Cinemax, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, say they say HBO
HBO
is a big deal.
man. HBO
It's
is a big deal. HBO is a big deal. It was made for an HBO program called Black Cake. It's a series. It was produced by Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
Yeah, and the production house is Walt Disney. So you know, it's all giants right there, right? And if you know anything about Walt Disney and other production houses, they're against cruelty to animals.
Yeah.
You can't use no real animal. They're not supposed to use no real animal, nothing real that you're going to bring harm to, or you're going to any kind of harm or what's the word I'm looking for?
Abuse.
Abuse. That's the word I'm looking for to it. They don't promote that, right? So, thus I get a call. We need a chicken, a fake chicken, dead chicken. And I'm like, okay, cool. And they never got back to me. And then they said, okay, they called me back and said, we still need a dead chicken. I'm like, okay, it'll take me about 3 days. They said, you have until tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
man.
yo, man,
In real life,
in
you
real
said?
life.
Give us some context. What time of the day is this?
Man, the time of the day, they call you like around, because nobody calls you early, so they'll call you like 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
In the
Wow.
day,
What
right? I
places
say,
are
listen.
open at 1 o'clock?
Yeah, I say, yo, yeah, that is it too. I've had calls 3 o'clock in the morning. Right, when we did Boom Boom, not to stray too far, when we did Jada King Boom Boom, we recreated the whole animated set with live things, me, my son, my wife. And they called us, matter of fact, Asha is the one who recommended me. And the guy said, if anybody could get this done, the only person I know is Clint. And they called me 3 o'clock in the morning. No, I like 8 o'clock in the 8 o'clock in the night. Luckily, I have a link with a hardware. I was able to get all the stuff, and they wanted it by 1 o'clock the next day. And we had to recreate colossal-sized trees, animals.
Hold on. Before we go, talk about the dead chicken, and then we'll go to DJ Khaled.
All right,
Because
DJ Khaled. All right, so
DJ
yeah.
Khaled.
Yeah, so
So
yeah,
it's not just a regular. We are going to international, then we are going to the local.
Yeah.
So we don't want to skip past it.
all
Talk
right,
about the
yeah.
dead
So
chicken now.
the chicken, like I said, I had to make it molded, and then I had to send them step by step. It was one of my, we can't even say hardest. I've done harder, but I had to kind of think outside of the box.
Think solution.
Yeah, think solution, because now the material, it's not that you're just making a dead chicken. You're making a dead chicken that's pliable, that's soft, that like if you move it, the head move right or left.
So they get the same kind of reaction if it
Right,
was
if it was a real dead chicken. And then to detail it while I was driving to Portland, because now we're fresh out of time. And they're like, so how much longer before you get here? I'm like, Jano. So we threw all the paints in the van. My son is in the back seat. I'm pressing gas. He's like, Dad, slow down. I'm like, hold on and just paint. So while we're driving to Portland, my son is doing the details, and when we reach it, once
Wow.
again, mission accomplished.
Wow.
DJ Khaled, I didn't even remember about DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled,
So my friends
Another
there.
one.
So my friends there. Humble DJ Khaled.
Never
It's all about the craft, innit?
It's all about the
I
craft.
didn't remember, but DJ Khaled, we got a call from
He's a master. I forgive. Let's get a round of applause for the master. I forgive him a round of applause.
respect, yeah. DJ Khaled, we got a call from Nikki. I think Sharon Burke was a part of that project. Carlene, J. Will was on that project. I think he was, I'm not sure what his role was, but a team came down. But he was they were the local production, and they called us. And the thing about DJ Khaled was, it was a whole bunch of work with a very short, again, it's the story of my life.
Short
Yeah,
time.
story of my life. So they called me, they're like, okay, we want some dead skeletons. We want some skeletons. I'm like, okay, cool. How many? Life size. And if anybody knows, even if you buy skeletons online, they're not life size.
Yeah.
Unless you actually buy a real skeleton for a scientific, for a science lab.
Yeah.
That's the only time you really get specs of a real skeleton. When you buy anything online, it's small and it's off. They want a real skeleton looking real. They want a treasure box, a whole heap of things. And last minute they called and said like, okay, so we got misleading information. Like they would say we wanted 2 when they actually needed 10. Listen, man, that was ridiculous stuff. Yeah, so we had to go to work, and then when we got our location,
Remember when the client give a problem, think solution.
Yeah, you have to think solution, because you see that alone is going to throw off your whole game. And then once you stop thinking solutions, stop thinking about failing, and start thinking about Managa, I don't have, where am I going to get? You're going to start to fail.
Yeah.
Instantly, once a person it's like driving. You're driving, you're reflective. You follow me? You react to. That's how you have to probe your mind and get your mind to program your mind in that manner.
Yeah,
so
man.
this means that once a problem is tossed at you, you react. Not to stop, not to crash, but to maneuver and keep going.
So it's like a case where you're saying, I'm here now.
Yeah.
What we can do, basically. Right? What I'm realizing with persons, when they reach in a situation, they get overwhelmed by the problem.
Yeah,
But the
and
thing
panic.
is, that won't change the problem.
And that's not change the problem. Clients are waiting.
Exactly.
The clients are like, we don't care.
Exactly.
We don't care.
They
So
don't.
here we are. How much longer before I get mine? So for me, I cannot afford to even let my mind bend in that manner. So DJ Khaled, we had a whole bunch of skeleton. My wife, my son, and I, we knock it out. We use everything under the sun for skeleton bones. I don't know what we're gonna use, from pipe to fittings to just a crate, and then I would fine tune, and then we got it done. We got it done. We did and then on the beach, and then I said this earlier, in everything that you're doing, you still have to know that you're focused while you're implementing stuff that you've made or implementing things that you're about to do. You have to know what will fail and what will not.
True.
And you have to know when to stay focused, that a person don't put you in a position where you please your client and then you end up jeopardizing a life or jeopardizing your health or jeopardizing your safety. Just it doesn't work that way. What I mean is we're on laughing waters. We're on the beach. They wanted me to put up a 10 by 20 tent. Yeah, and then they wanted me to put fabric around it and da. But the structure itself, they're like, okay, just bitch up. I was like, hold on. First of all, if I just knock this up really quick and put fabric around it, now you're creating a parachute.
Yep.
You know, so it had to be where I had to say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Let me do it in the manner in which I know it's safe.
You notice we're talking about, you can't make the client, we're talking about the setup, you can't make the client dictate, even though they are paying the money, you can't make them dictate your work and how you do your work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Once them give you the instructions, you tell them what you can do, and
how it's
you
gonna
set
be
your
done.
boundaries.
Yeah, because remember, this is the reason why they hired me. Or this is the reason why
Exactly.
they
You are the
hired you.
expertise
Right,
in
right,
this
right.
area.
Yeah, this
Expert,
is
that's
my
the word.
field.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Expert.
Yeah, man, expertise. Because
All
they're
right.
gonna say, you know what I think? I'm really happy what you think.
Exactly.
But you know what I
There we
know?
go.
You know what I
There we
know?
go. I know what I know.
No,
It's
yeah,
wonderful that you think that way.
Yeah, I'm glad
But-
you think that way. You know, thoughts are flowing in the air.
You know?
Yes, but
You're inspired.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're very inspired right now. But you know, can you just let me do what I'm doing? So, and I've been through that a lot. You know, so it is imperative that you understand and make sure that you do not put yourself in a position where you not end up failing because they're gonna say it wasn't me.
Yeah.
You know. So moving on, Khaled was an experience. Khaled, we had to, like I said, we did Green Grotto Cave. We had to do the skeletons. We had to do so many things.
What was
for
the
Khaled.
theme though?
The theme it was DJ Khaled with Migos. This is
Yeah,
before,
Migos.
Yeah, Migos.
Yeah.
It was before one of them
Migos.
dropped out, right?
Yeah.
And her. And, yeah, because Khaled he did that, and then he also did Capleton, Bound to Kill, and some other people. But the theme was Going Crazy. The name of the song is Going Crazy. Yeah.
And if you think him only work with that, my personal experience with him, we had the concept of the video we work with him, and the concept of the video was there's a plane crash in a
I
desolate
remember
place.
that. Oh boy.
The man made plane and had it burning like,
Yeah.
and I'm
Crash.
like, this is a thought process, and he did this on the fly,
Yeah. That's right.
on a budget.
On a budget.
On a budget. So we don't go too far on that, but that
Yeah.
is how mastery that is work.
Yeah, and that was a long time
So
ago.
we're teaching you the class of how you bring a thing across,
Yeah.
what we're doing. So you see him talking this, no, we're not really, if we talk a little further, we'll go way down that part. We want to talk about the local artists when we work with. Who you have worked with and in what facet?
All right. So I've worked with Isaiah Lang on Sting.
Sting.
Yeah. I've done over 15, 20 years with Mr. Isaiah with Sting. I've done voicing, ads, press launches for over 15 years for Sting. I've worked with Tony Rebel. I've also done visuals for them. I've designed posters. I've worked with Sharon Burke. I've done several ads for Fully Loaded and other productions that she's been the head of. I've worked with, I've done stuff with McDonovish. I just did Sumfest, and I've done Sumfest in the past before he was the proprietor of it. I've done done a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I don't even remember. But as far as even with corporate now, when you say corporate, I've done stuff for Scotiabank.
Okay, that's too bored. I forget something exciting. No, but I ask,
Yeah.
This is a tough question. I ask you. Might be a little emotional. I ask you now. How do you manage your clients' expectations? I know sometimes I'm go overboard.
Wow.
I know you're good at the shortcut thing, but how you manage them expectations?
How I manage my clients' expectation, I anticipate. I love to anticipate. There always, no matter where you go, there's always breadcrumbs that were left behind or unfinished structures that you could learn from to understand a culture. It's really important if you understand what I mean. There's always something that is left behind that if you're paying attention, you'll be able to understand a culture or individual or a location. Very imperative for you to pay attention. I've been in the industry from 2019. Me zoom past a whole heap of people. Hands down. Nah, ask that. Not because I'm smarter than anybody. I'm gifted, yeah, but because I pay attention. I see how clients orchestrate, indecisive, then decide, and then the expectation. So I always arm myself with paying attention to what's going on, latest trend, what's available, what's not available, and then I do stuff way before a client would call me and then influence them to use that in their production. I also understand that a person will call you last minute, so I have a surplus of paints, material, and then because, again, my gift, I could go from welding to electrical to plumbing. I can do everything. There's nothing I can't do. Believe me, there's nothing I can't do. So I'm that person where, because my clients will call me last minute and then expect you to make, like, for example, somebody wanted me to make somebody levitate about 2 weeks ago. A Scotia client, they wanted a lady in the ear and a car in the ear from Supercell, like 2 days before their event.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I can do it. I learned a couple years ago, I was listening to some motivational thing, and there was a guy that said, when you're asked to do something, never say you can't. Tell them yes and get to doing it. So that's another thing solution. From the time I say you want this, yeah man, I can do it.
Okay. So you're saying
I don't even know where it's gonna come from. True. But I know that God is good. Finish up.
Okay.
Finish up.
My final question. Tough. How do you know when to say no to a client?
Oh boy, you see that's so important. I have failed in the beginning.
Well, no,
on
man,
my
you
way.
can't tell us
No. Listen.
Okay.
On my way coming, I have failed to say no.
Oh, okay. I get you now.
Yeah. I have failed to say no to clients in the past. On my way coming to the level where I'm at now, and there were consequences. It never got really deep, or it didn't cost me any money, but it cost me my reputation. And your reputation is all you have. Your work is your signature. When a client gives you mission impossible, it is for you to say, I'll get back to you. Take time for step away, seek advice, then get back to them. Never answer on the cut. Never, ever answer. I have a habit of doing that. Never a client, anybody can say, you think you can do that? They say, all right, here what's going on. I'm going to, give me 5 minutes and I'll call you back. And it's very imperative, very important, of utmost importance to remember this also. Always leave a breadcrumb. Always leave a trail. When a client is speaking to you, make sure you have an app on your phone to record the conversation, or make sure that when your client is communicating with you, you have WhatsApp. Because people are shifty and shady and lie. And they will say them never say, and I did say them to say. And so you have to make sure.
There you go.
You have to make sure so you cover your tracks. See? You have to, because again, people are indecisive, lie, and wicked. I'm just being from experience. We all have been there.
Yeah.
So just that alone, this class alone that keep a while ago. And we give thanks that we're here and that the master, what are the next master? We have a samurai, a visual samurai. Now we have an artist samurai right now.
Yeah, get with you.
Samurai. You see? Samurai.
What the cartoon?
No,
What the blade them?
So we make sure, say,
Yeah,
we're there with BTA specialists and we are here with Mr. Clint Smith.
See, alright.
His name too short, his name supposed to be Clinton, sitting some long name. So, we're at this is the Setup Podcast. Remember to like, share. Man, you got me with this, you know. Yes. Like, share, subscribe, follow all these things. Every clip, follow the clips, follow the arguments, follow us, APS.Columbian, follow Lando, follow Imagehouse Music. Imagehouse, I don't know music, but I think it's the music.
Imagehouse Studios, yeah.
Imagehouse Studio.
Yeah, but that's
so remember to follow. So thanks for watching, sharing, liking, all the good stuff. I'm Roger, the Financial Bear. I'm out. So me salute there.
Salute.
The Setup.